Hello, super parents. So this kid situation is a video versus writing it out because the situation really got under my skin, and I had so much compassion the next day. So we are at the brewery, which is a place that has brunch, beers, and a big open space. And I bartend there on Sundays. And what that means is Sunday, pretty much morning, families come in with their kids, and that's the kind of neighborhood I'm in where it's just like free spirited and so forth. So there's about 5 families. Each of them have kids that are like ranging from 3 to about 6. So at some point, they're there for hours. I'm bartending, so I get to watch what's going on. And there's 2 boys, 3 years old, and 1 girl. She's about 6. And they start playing with these metal chains. They're looking for something to do. They're bored. Their parents are all happily eating and drinking, and one little boy is more active than the rest and is not easily satisfied. And several times, and he's doing things that he could get hurt. And several times I see the dad, who's a really tall guy, go over to his kid and grab him by the hand and say something to him. Very stern. And so when they start playing with these chains, it's not busy at the bar, and I have a Jenga game, which is these little blocks that you set up. And I take this box of Jenga, and I basically quickly check in with the parents, and I'm like, is this okay? And I bring them over to the dance floor, which is empty. And the 3 of them are there, 2 3-year-olds and a little girl who's 6. And I go, okay, you guys, before I give you these blocks, let's make up agreements. And I said, you have this big white floor. Anytime one of these blocks goes outside the white floor, somebody with muscles has to go get it. They all raised their hand. And what else did I say? Oh, and 2 things I said. And the other thing is, when you're done, I will give you the box and clean it up and put it back in the box. Okay, so then I start playing with them a little bit, and the very rambunctious boy, I could see that he's the kind of kid that likes to knock things down. And I said, I built something, and I said, I'm ready. If anybody wants to knock it down, who's it going to be? I want to knock it down. So I said, okay, you can knock it down. And I said, I'm so glad you heard my words. If you don't want anybody to knock down what you're making, you have to say, I'm not ready to have it knocked down. So we practiced those things a couple of times. I felt secure that they could keep playing, and I went back behind the bar. A couple times, they came up and they were like, excuse me, and they asked me a question. They went back and they played. They played for about 20 minutes. I timed it because I was really curious how this was going to play out. And then I saw a couple of blocks outside the white floor. So I went over swiftly and I was like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? Who has the biggest muscles to pick up these blocks? They fought to go pick up the blocks. They wanted to pick up the blocks and bring them back to the white floor. Great, the situation hasn't happened yet. So far, so good. I'm excited. Mother comes over to me. She's like, wow, whatever magic you did with those kids, that wasn't just playing. You must have some. I said, yes, I work with children and families. I used to be a preschool teacher and a special education therapist. She said, great, thank you so much. We're having a great time. Boom. Okay, 10 minutes later, the kids have walked away. The girl is still playing. I watch this go on. And then I see this dad. He comes over in a huff, gets the box, and starts cleaning up. And I'm like, oh, don't do that. So I walk over and I'm like, oh, hey, we made an agreement that the kids are going to clean up. And I wrote down what he said because it was so frustrating. And I want to say it exactly as he said it. Oh, he didn't look at me. And he kept cleaning up. And he goes, it doesn't work that way. They never clean up. And I was like, oh, he is royally screwing this up right now. His limitations, all the things that he has seen, that he has helped create, of the fact like it doesn't work that way. And I didn't stop. I said, well, they agreed to it when I gave them the toys, and he just ignored me. He didn't say anything, and he kept cleaning them up. Now, if you know Jenga, you know you can't just put them in the box like that. You have to put them in organized, or they're not going to fit. So then I see him with even more frustration. So I walked away. I was like, you know what? They're not my kids, not my responsibility. I tried. He brings them to the table, the whole thing, he dumps it out, and he's really frustrated. He's actually acting just like his son. And then the mom comes over, and he's in a huff. He's not looking at her. He's just putting all the things back in the box. And they clean it up together, and the mom helps him. This is her husband. And then he comes over to the bar. He plops it on the bar with like $5 in there. And he doesn't say anything, and he walks away. And I said to myself, like, wow, this is, he wanted to show me how messed up his kid was. He wanted to show me, oh, you think you know how to be with kids? Not mine. He's the worst one. And you know what? His kid was the most rambunctious, the most creative, the most curious and interested. And it was really too bad. Because in that moment, the kids didn't clean up. They ran away from him. And he stuck to his limited belief that it doesn't work that way. And at that point, I got so passionate. I started writing all these notes of topics that I really want to help parents with. Because, you know, they're cool parents. They're in a bar with their kids. But because he had spent all of his energy and all of his hope, he went back to old school, which is like doing it for his kid, using a firm voice, yanking his kid around. And I'm like, this is not confident parenting. This is not teaching your child to be responsible. This is like allowing them to do the same crap that doesn't work over and over, and you're condoning it. So I want you all to know, who are watching this, that if you don't give your child the opportunity to do better, they won't. If you assume that your child is going to keep repeating a pattern, they will. Children are very different than adults. They are not set in their ways. So hold the space for the idea that your child can be successful. Just because they've done it the wrong way 10, 15 times, the 11th and 16th time, they might do it right. And when they do, I want you to compliment them. Acknowledge them. Let them know they did a great job. And then they will repeat that behavior. If you come to them stressed, angry, with no hope, with the idea that it doesn't work that way, it will continue to not work. And it will continue to work that way. So as you can see, I am super passionate about this, about being in integrity with your word, giving your children a chance, letting them know that they can do it, and holding the possibility that they will be successful. In 2018, I will be accepting 2 more families to work with. I'm limiting it because I do give so much to the families that I don't just want to fill up my practice. So if you think you're a family who needs my support, you can go to yourbeautifulchild.com and fill out a breakthrough session application, and I will look at it. And some people I get on the phone with, and some people I just hold on a waiting list. But if you're interested, let me know. I'm really, really here to help you with your kids' situations. And I wish you a great Thanksgiving, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.